right. You ready?
Yep.
Hello, folks. Hey,
Howdy.
this is the tier list episode.
Absolutely.
For every session in Cowboy Bebop. That means Jupiter Jazz and Real Folk Blues. Even though both of those sessions are separated into two different episodes, we're counting them as one session. We're using a wonderful tier list by Casey Brink. Shout out to Casey. Thank you, Casey.
Casey. Thank you, Casey.
Casey, come on down. And we're going to be ranking every single session together. We have our own sort of tier list and our own ideas, so let's see if we can have a Artenders.
What are they, Artenders?
Seal of approval.
Yeah.
Just in case, let me clap for audio. All right, we're great. This is organized by episode release, with the very first episode titled Asteroid Blues.
Asteroid Blues, of course, I remember. This is the Red Eye episode.
Correct. So I had Asteroid Blues actually at the bottom of my B tier.
Interesting. I actually gave Asteroid Blues a C, but I think that it is possible that Asteroid Blues could be in a B because I meant for it to be kind of like a middle ground episode.
So then Asteroid Blues, let's put it in the B tier?
Let's put it in the bottom of B tier.
B tier.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Thank you.
Stray Dog Strut, the episode where we are introduced to Ein, the Data Dog Welsh Corgi, who is so dang cute.
What brings this episode down is the fact that it follows Asteroid Blues. Asteroid Blues, I was like, okay, this is like a pretty solid standard episode. But I know for sure that I liked Stray Dog Strut less. And
I think the antagonist in this episode is a lot less interesting. Even though Ein is introduced, but nothing, no auxiliary sort of implementations in this episode is that interesting.
So I'm cool with C or D, but I'm think
cool
it's
with
C.
I have him at the bottom of C.
That's respectable. That's absolutely respectable.
Right. Bottom of C.
Man, agreeable so far.
Look at us.
This always happens. We start agreeable.
We'll have something.
And then just go off the deep
I'm sure there'll
be
something.
Which I'm excited about.
All right, Honky Tonk Woman, I believe, is the... Yep, Honky Tonk Women.
Yes.
I have this episode actually right above Stray Dog Strut in C tier.
Oh, shit. Really? I really actually like this episode.
Okay, I could be warmed up to a B. I think it's because the sort of beginning of Cowboy Bebop is a lot weaker than the tail end.
Now, the thing with this Honky Tonk Women episode for me, I love the fact that it's the first one that I really feel like I'm in space. The other ones feel like kind of earthly in ways.
I'm with you.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Tied down.
Right. I feel like I'm really diving into the concept, and also obviously Faye.
It is the introduction of Faye. I don't think I'm giving the episode enough credit because I think it also is a very good introduction.
Now, as a standalone episode, I could understand how it might be worse than Asteroid Blues, but overall for the series, I would say it's more important.
Sure, it's more important, but is it a better session?
No.
Okay.
No.
There it is.
Easy as that.
Yep. Gateway Shuffle.
I was not a fan of this episode.
I forgot how much I forgot about this episode.
I remember quite a bit about this episode, but it was like... it was unsettling. Like, there are quite a few episodes here that are unsettling, but in the best way possible. The antagonist just made me more uncomfortable. Like,
in a good way?
No. And, like, the animation was kind of weird, and it was difficult to, like, look at her for too long. I thought the idea of the cult was kind of cool, but the execution wasn't
just
fantastic.
like environmental terrorists.
Yeah, like that's a cool concept,
right.
But the way that they explained it, I wasn't really bought in.
It would have been better if, like, she was more nuanced, or just, like, operated more in the gray. Where she still did, like, something that was, like, over the edge,
right?
But she wasn't so cartoony.
That was it. It was the way that she moved that was so out of pocket and so not the show for me.
Pocket.
It's true.
So we both agree that's worse than Stray Dog Strut, right?
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out if it's C or D. Let's put it in D for now.
Let's put it at the top of D, and we'll go from there. Ballad of Fallen Angels.
It is stellar for me. I love this.
Oh, dear.
You hate it, don't you?
It's in my C tier because I hate Vicious, and I don't think I don't see a lot of the character motivation of what Vicious does for Spike.
Well, what do you mean? Like how he advances Spike as a character?
Yes. Well, or rather, I don't see Spike's actions in this episode properly motivated and articulated in a way that I think they should be. But in the case of this, like, it feels like he's going to deal with some of his baggage, but, like, I don't know exactly what that baggage is or why I should care about that baggage.
That
like
makes sense.
It's very much so past life, but it doesn't do a good job of executing that storytelling.
It raised some questions, and at first I was a little annoyed, like, okay, well, was this warranted? And then I was like, you know what? I trust this show. I'm gonna wait to see what they give me. I mainly am just in love with that cathedral.
It is a very good scene.
I mean, that scene is and even if you don't like it all that much, you have to acknowledge that it is one of the most iconic. I gave this, I said either A or B.
I'll put it in B. You've warmed me up, I think, and the usage of the music in this is also done. The choreography is great.
I mean, cosmic.
Nice to see like a tidbit at the end of Spike and Faye's relationship.
Right.
When it comes to their sort of poking at each other. All right, I'll put it there. Then you also said this was another one of your favorite episodes.
I feel so bad.
Sympathy for the Devil.
I'm willing to go at bat for this one. I have this one under my A or S.
I don't think it's an S tier episode.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think the kid is interesting. I think what the kid does is interesting. He drags around people on a wheelchair. He never ages.
I think that's probably the problem for me, is that I'm such a sucker for mortality episodes, you know what I mean?
Sure.
I tried so hard not to be swayed, but I just love that crap so much. His father in the wheelchair,
quote unquote,
right, was so interesting to me. I just love that last scene so much, but I guess that's kind of the same as Battle of Fallen Angels.
Pacing wise, I think it's a really well done episode, and how it trickles information to you is one of the better ones. And I think it is better than all the episodes that we
Agreed. It's definitely better than Fallen Angels.
It may be at bottom of A tier for me. Yes. Heavy Metal Queen. This was a pretty boring episode.
I really did not like this episode at all.
D tier?
Yeah.
I think VT is not a bad character, I don't think.
No, but it's just so forgettable. Or I guess not forgettable, it's just not needed, not necessary.
Yeah, I don't know what it adds for those characters, which is the main crew. You know
I was definitely not attached. I would say better than Gateway Shuffle.
Oh, I would say worse.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, then fine. I'm willing to give that one up. No, I'm definitely willing to give that one up.
Waltz for Venus, I have smack dab in the middle of A. I think from what we have right now, I think it's the best episode that we have so far.
Easily the best episode so far.
We're now debating whether it's an S or if it's an A.
Okay. This is probably one of the best standalone episodes. Meaning, I could show someone that has no idea what this show is about this episode, and I'd say about 40 or 50% of the time they end up crying.
For a lot of people who try to introduce this show to other people, they actually show this episode.
That makes sense to me. Such a good standalone episode, and uses silence in a way that only American realism can.
Say no more.
Yeah. There we go. I gotta say, new life was just breathed into me. Breathed into me. Just now by putting that in S tier.
There are a lot of feels in this episode. It's a genius episode.
So good.
Jamming with Edward.
The opposite.
I can't believe you don't like Ed that much. That breaks my heart.
I'm just so lukewarm on Ed. I like Ed okay, especially by the end, but it takes me such a while to warm up to Ed. I don't dislike Ed.
Right.
I'm just in the middle. So okay, where would you put Jamming with Edward?
So I put Jamming with Edward in the middle of B tier.
Okay.
I thought it was an average episode. It's a good time. I think it asks questions about existentialism, which are always good. The meaning of our purpose and who we are with the satellite that carved drawings into the earth.
Right.
Who are we? What's our purpose? And how do we guide ourselves along through life with our companions?
I originally put it C tier, but I'm willing to go B tier for sure.
I think it's better than Honky Tonk Women. Is it better than Asteroid Blues?
I don't think so.
Oh, I can't
the mouse.
Fit it.
Our
mice are
antagonist.
tough. Ganymede Elegy, A tier episode.
I'm gonna have to agree. I don't think it's better than Sympathy for the Devil. I know that you wildly disagree there.
Oh, I really disagree.
Yeah, right.
Because we see so much show and not tell with Jet's character.
Yeah.
That I think this is a much more impactful, just great episode for the overall storytelling of this show. Ties a lot more thematically with confronting with our past.
Right. After the crash, him going and beating the shit out of that kid
is something else.
It really, you're right. Okay, you talked me into it.
Okay.
I'm willing to go top of A right now.
Yeah, this is top of A right now. Toys in the Attic.
Okay, interesting episode.
I love
gotta
this
say.
episode.
I figured you would.
It's a fun episode.
You like the standalone episodes.
Well, in some of these standalone episodes, I'm not like the biggest fan of, but sometimes the tightness of a story within an episode is just so much fun and such a
Sure.
great time.
That makes
And I
sense.
think how this episode is directed, the music in it, the pacing of it, how like each character has their own lesson, and it's like a horror
Yeah.
episode all of a sudden.
But also that like the monster itself is like
It's a lobster that's been in the fridge for too long.
is
Isn't that funny as hell?
hilarious. Also, watching it like artistically swirl out of the ship is fucking hilarious to me.
So for me, it's an A tier.
Oh, whoa! I don't know about A tier.
Whoa, I think it's great.
If it's A tier, it's got to be the bottom of A tier right now.
I'm
Okay.
willing to bet with that. A pure sort of flex and sort of directorially speaking doesn't do a lot thematically. Then we have Jupiter Jazz, which is a 2-session sort of sequence.
Right.
Let's say 2 episodes. I think it's a wonderful arc. I don't know what else there is to really say about it. It's really good while you're in the moment, you know. I think
Right.
like Faye leaving for a bit does wonders for the growth of her character,
Yeah.
as well as Spike and having to deal with a little bit more of his past, and then how Jet deals with all of that too,
Right.
of just sort of catching strays. Not until later.
Series and arc dependent information. I mean, we get Vicious in
And I
in
think Grin's a
these
great character.
gang fight stuff.
The
Yeah.
choreography in it, both with the dogfights and with
Right,
the
right.
hand-to-hand combat.
And this is one of those, and I kind of feel this way about both two-parters, that there's just so much they pack into these. There's a reason they're 2 parts.
It's a damn good halfway point, though.
I gotta say, it's just so important to the show. I feel like it needs to go relatively high.
So, do we think it's better than Toys in the Attic?
I'd have to go top of B. I need to be excited about it enough to put it in A, and I'm just not.
Okay, I'm with you there.
There it is.
Bohemian Rhapsody, the chess episode.
Oh, okay.
It's fine.
It was kind of underwhelming for me. I really liked the concept, and I think that there's a lot of ways that this could have been done better, especially with the chess elements. But yeah, it was mediocre. I would put.
I think
this,
it's in C tier.
I think it's in C tier as well.
Is
I
it
would-
better or worse than Stray Dog Strut?
I think it's better than Stray Dog Strut. Yeah.
My Funny Valentine, the episode where we essentially get Faye's backstory of when she
Okay.
woke up from the cryo tube. It's a tricky one because how they segment it is like in the first half of the episode is like you get the backstory, and the second half it's like, oh shit, the guy from that backstory is here. And now
Right.
I have to confront that. Life that I was told about was all fraudulence, you know?
Right.
And so then she has to
It's-
like confront with that.
It's difficult because I like Faye as a character a lot, and I like a lot of what they do for Faye in this episode. But the actual execution of the episode, I think, is fine.
Not as good as Toys in the Attic. I think it's definitely better than Ballad of Fallen Angels. Ballad of Fallen Angels is really just like the meat of this. It's like the point in the middle.
Yeah,
of
I
a
feel like
map.
that is our absolute median. Now the big question, is it better or worse than Jupiter Jazz? I would say I had a better time watching it than Jupiter Jazz.
Me too.
And is that good enough to put it above?
But more interesting stuff happens to Faye in Jupiter Jazz
Agreed.
than it does in My Funny Valentine.
Yeah.
Which is funny, Valentine. Black Dog Serenade.
Ooh.
I really like this episode.
I
Bottom
love
of
this
A
episode.
tier. Bottom of A tier for me.
I'm right there with you. Right there.
Okay.
Easy as that.
All right.
I
cool.
loved this Jet episode.
Mushroom Samba, even though it has some problematic elements, and it's really
Love Mushroom
problematic, Mushroom Samba is one of the best times of this show. I had it smack dab in the middle of my A tier.
I would say it's better than Toys in the Attic.
I think it's better than Sympathy for the Devil.
Okay, I'm okay. I can do that. I
Okay.
can put it above. Sympathy
Okay.
for the Devil.
Okay. I think it's below Ganymede Elegy.
I
Because
agree.
Ganymede Elegy
Agreed.
made me feel things. Now we are at Speak Like a Child. I want to say that Speak Like a Child joins S tier with Waltz for Venus.
Are you kidding?
I'm dead serious.
Okay, sell me.
All of them sort of realizing with that tape of like, oh wow, that was Faye when she was younger, 50 plus years ago. You just see Faye's face and she just has her jaws dropped. And I think it's like, it's really, really cute. Jet and Spike go on this little like treasure hunt. Faye is just like on her own thing, just kind of mind her own business, and she comes back. My issue with the episode is that we never understand why or how they get Faye's I'm gonna say Faye's VHS tape.
Right.
We never get an answer as to how or why that gets to the Bebop. Even putting yourself in the shoes of Faye, Imagine you don't remember your past.
Right.
And you're watching this video of something that happened to you years prior of when you were a kid, you were innocent, life was full and beautiful ahead of you, and you don't remember those moments. That's a beautiful moment.
That's true. And
I cried. There. I said it.
I'm willing to put it at the top of A. You've talked me into that much.
I'm willing to put it at the top of A. Wild Horses. This was fine.
This was a mediocre episode for me.
Top of C tier
Agreed.
for me.
That's
All right, cool.
exactly what it is. That's exact. I was thinking the exact same thing.
Perot LeFou. One of the best episodes of this.
Agreed. No, it's S.
We complimented on the music of this show.
Yeah.
How it uses silence in that episode. Impeccable.
Unbelievable. This episode especially really gets me going because the clown, the villain, is so much more powerful. I love how powerful he is. And also just like the psychotype trope, I love. I love this.
We also get a little bit of like the unspoken love between Spike and Faye. Faye comes in on her spaceship. I think knowing full well that she ain't gonna do shit.
Right. Boogie Woogie Feng Shui.
Probably the worst episode in the series.
Oh, yeah. You don't have to ask me.
Well,
Just
because
put it there.
the issue is that this could have been really interesting because this is another sort of like Jet backstory episode.
Yep.
And the two before that, Ganymede Elegy and Black Dog
And Black Dog
Serenade,
Serenade.
are great episodes.
Yep.
It's amazing how little this affects Jet as like a character.
Right.
It's astounding.
Right. This is one of
I
those
don't
that
think
could
the
be
acting
removed.
is that good in this episode. It's the only episode that I feel that way about.
And it's such a straightforward episode. Like, there's no like real twists or like secrets or like big moments. It's just
Or like, I mean, there are, right? But in terms of the stakes for the character that is
I
Jet,
was about to say
feels
nothing
inconsequential.
Nothing that changes anything, like anything in the show long term.
it just feels like he's like dragged along, and the plot of this episode is not interesting enough to.
And I think it's
hold
also
its own.
because of how Jet as a character feel about the situation. You know what I mean? It's not like he's like super gung ho about, so bought into this journey that he's going on. You know, Cowboy Funk.
I have it at the top of my D tier.
Really?
I think it's just there. It's
I
another
think
one
it's just
of
there.
those.
I think it's enjoyable.
All
Well,
right,
okay.
I think it's top of C tier then. Looking at the episodes that we have
about to say.
here, I think it's better, definitely better than Wild
I can
Horses.
understand how it's just there and like not as important, but at the same time, I definitely had a better.
Yeah, and
time
I don't like
watching this
Andy.
than-
Like, I actually don't like watching Andy. You know, like, it's fine to have an antagonist that, like, as an audience member, like, I don't like that character. But, like, I don't like watching that character.
Yeah, it's not enjoyable. Yeah.
Yeah. Brain
that's good.
Scratch it's really good.
Okay, but good. I think
Really, really
I was about
good.
to say
This is either S or A tier.
Same. I'm right there with you. I love this episode.
Looking at it now.
Love the
Yeah,
cult.
because, well, it's uncomfortable.
Yeah.
In a really effective way.
Yeah.
And once again, ask the question about existentialism of, like, what do we do now? Like,
Right. And you know that I am such a sucker for
cults?
the cults. Yeah. I mean,
Love cults.
Let's be honest.
You love cults.
It's weird. It's
Big
weird.
Colts fan. Yeah.
Those-
Indianapolis
Colts. I love that episode. And I think we put it in the exact right place. Hard Luck Woman.
The best episode in this entire show.
Okay. It's definitely S for me. Okay. And is it because of what it does for the show as a whole?
It affects every character.
Right.
In a really interesting way. That isn't like the finale.
I don't personally think this is the best standalone episode, but in terms of like payoff, and in terms of like being a Cowboy Bebop fan, that makes sense. It'd
And
be
the
best.
music is great. The
Oh,
adventure
the
everyone goes on is
music.
great. And to watch Faye's journey to... Oh, God. Like, watching Faye run up that hill, and then her house isn't there, and she starts to remember things. And then she draws a little space, and she just lies down.
Okay, you got me.
And it's fun.
Yep.
It's emotional. Real Folk Blues?
I said ARS. This is one of my ARSs.
I had it as my second best. Well, once again, like, the relationships between the characters are
Right.
super strong
Right.
in this.
Right.
That final scene between, final scenes between everybody. Really.
Yeah, everyone's goodbye scene to Spike was
Phenomenal.
so good.
Especially when Spike is telling the story about the tiger-striped cat.
Yes, to Jet, yes. And there's a silence, and then just like, and then they just don't stop, you know?
We're talking about tea, we're having tea, but we're not
talking about
actually
tea.
talking about tea.
Yeah, right.
How do we accept the lives that we have lived? I think the emotional beats get to me more in Hard Luck Woman
Oh, landslide.
than it does in Real Folk Blues.
I'll let you put Real Folk Blues number 2 if you...
Waltz for Venus is number 3?
Yeah.
Okay.
because I'm shocked that you knew that was coming because that's the main one that emotionally impacted me.
All right, so Mac.
Yeah.
Let's
I'm
review.
satisfied.
In our D tier, we have Boogie Woogie Feng Shui,
Appropriate.
Heavy Metal Queen,
Yeah.
Gateway Shuffle. In C tier, we have Stray Dog Strut, Bohemian Rhapsody, Wild Horses, and Cowboy Funk.
That's a very strong C tier.
In B tier, we have Honky Tonk Women,
Honky Tonk Women, yeah.
Jamming with Edward, Asteroid Blues, Ballad of Fallen Angels, My Funny Valentine, and Jupiter Jazz.
Yeah, this one I just keep thinking about Asteroid Blues, to be honest, because I put that at
Does Asteroid Blues deserve better?
maybe better in this.
B tier again.
That's good.
Honky Tonk Women, Jamming with Edward, Ballad of Fallen Angels, Asteroid Blues, My Funny Valentine, Jupiter Jazz.
That's appropriate. That makes sense to me. Okay, yeah.
A tier, Black Dog Serenade, Toys in the Attic, Sympathy for the Devil, Mushroom Samba, Ganymede Elegy, Speak Like a Child.
Yeah. That was the one that you vouched for.
Yeah, I know. I always forget the title.
Don't worry
Well, it's not a
about it. I get
memorable
that.
title.
I
Can you
get
give me
that.
some slack
Don't
there?
worry about it. I think that's a strong A tier. Let's do
the
it.
wonderful S tier.
Oh, so excited. Okay, yep.
Brain Scratch,
Hell yeah.
Perot Le Fou,
Oh god, yeah.
Waltz for Venus,
So good.
The Real Folk Blues,
Yeah, okay.
Hard Luck Woman.
Yeah, this is the definitive. You know what? I'm willing to say this is the objective tier list. Yeah, there's no other answers than this. This is the only one. Anyone that says otherwise is wrong, and the Artenders is the final say. That's what I have to say. That's that. I think that's it. Are we done here? Yeah. Okay. I think we're done. Yeah. Okay, we're done here.